Now, it's time to meet the players of college sports today and get this show started. He's a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, a first-round NFL draft choice, and a member of the College Football Hall of Fame as both a player and coach. He is the head ball coach, Steve Spurrier. He's a rare two-time SEC Player of the Year and spent over a decade in the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, Shane Matthews. And presenting the host of the show, with over 25 years of sports broadcasting experience, Terry Norvell. Coming to you from the College Sports Today studio, it's time for College Sports Today with Spurrier, Matthews, and Norvell.
Here we go, kicking off a Monday edition College Sports Today. Matthews, Norvell, and you. Coach Spurrier still traveling. Shane, any idea where he's at?
Well, he was up in Atlanta playing golf.
Playing golf.
I bet he was at the beach this weekend.
There you go.
Still there.
There you go. I think Coach gets back in town here in North Florida, settled and ready to go tomorrow. We'll have Coach Steve Spurrier on College Sports Day, catching up on a lot of stuff, but we will battle it out. He is, of course, Shane Matthews. I'm Terry Norvell. A lot to get to. We will debut a new Vida de Louie commercial, and we're giving away a prize package. You better know your college football and a little reggae. If you know a couple reggae people, we're going to play their brand new commercial, another world premiere here in a few moments, and you are going to have to name 6 celebrities. It's a bottle pass. Don't say anything else, Shane. It's a bottle pass commercial. So the Vida de Louie tequila is being passed from celebrity to celebrity to celebrity. You're going to have to name 6. The first person that can name 6 celebrities in the commercial will win a prize package. A lot to get to before we do that, Shane. Let's set the show a little bit. SEC baseball is really heating up. Florida had a wild series in Lexington. Did you catch much of that? That was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I probably saw 3 total innings.
It was nuts.
Yeah, it was.
It was nuts.
Came from behind to win, right?
It was. Yeah, Florida wins the series in Lexington after dropping game 1 and playing miserable. Florida played terrible, dropped the Thursday night game. A lot of stuff has happened. SEC baseball, 2 weekends left now, and it is really heating up. We've got the standings going to flash up in a moment. We're going to tell you who's playing who this weekend, and then one final weekend before the conference tournament. Talk a lot about Florida. Let's stay with Florida real quick. Baseball. It was a real chippy weekend in Lexington. Kentucky's trying to they need wins to get in, to get a bid, right? Unless they go win Hoover, and it's hard to win in Hoover for the auto bid. So Florida stinks it up, loses game 1 on Thursday. Okay, game 2, Kentucky is a strike away. You with me? Kentucky's leading 5-4, top of the 9th. Florida's the visiting team in Lexington. Florida's got 2 on. Down to their final strike, pinch hitter Corey Acton, who's only been at bat 25 times all year. Shane, 2 strikes. Kentucky's down to 1 more strike. They win the game, and they would have won the series going into game 3. I don't know the Kentucky pitcher, Shane. He snapped off, obviously, the best slider in the history of baseball. The umpire froze.
Really? I didn't see that.
Snapped it off. Acton should have been Shane, it was such a good pitch. The minute it hit the catcher's mitt, I started reaching for my remote. I turn off and go to bed. Shane, I do this. The umpire froze.
Oh, wow.
Didn't call it. Ball. Place goes nuts. And if you've been around baseball, I said, oh, this is going to get interesting because I think what's going to happen, dink! Absolute next pitch, rocket up the middle, ties the game. Next batter, Calaleo.
Oh, he hit a 3-run homer. Right?
Hit a 3-run homer that's still going.
Yeah, I did see that. I saw the highlights of that. I didn't know that they had the 3rd call strike on it.
It was the greatest slider in the history of baseball. Oh, my God, Florida pulled one out. They end up winning Sunday. Barco has a nice outing for the Gators, and Florida wins their series somehow, some way on the road. Fabian's getting hot. He's got his average up to about 270. He had a 2-homer game in the series. He hit 3, I think, total. Barco, great start. Wow, baseball in the SEC. What about Gator softball?
Mm-hmm.
See how that ended?
I did see that now.
What in the world? Isn't that like the second walk-off home run Gators softball over A&M in the last couple of years. They walked them off in the regional, didn't they?
Yeah, that was a few years ago.
Yeah, a few years ago.
They had they walked them off. Now, I don't know if Saturday's game was a walk-off, but it was a 3-run homer to win the game.
Yeah.
Or maybe it wasn't. So they had back-to-back walk-offs.
I guess, yes, that's right.
Saturday and Sunday.
That's right, yeah, just absolutely. Florida, by the way, softball, right? Arkansas was done. They had played all their conference games. Arkansas was sitting there with, 5 conference losses? They're done. They had a share of the SEC softball regular season, Arkansas, and they were off this weekend. Florida had one more series with A&M. The Gators had to win all 3 to tie. Mm-hmm. They were losing 4-0 when I turned it on yesterday. 4-0
and 6th inning.
And getting no hit, Shane, in the 5th or 6th. I went outside, beautiful day, checked my phone, Gators winning a walk-off in softball. I said, what the hell? Now, because they won, they tied in the loss column with Arkansas, but guess who really gets the tiebreaker in the number 1 seed? The Gators.
Yeah.
Because, you know why?
Yeah, they had a better record against Alabama.
Alabama. Yeah. Arkansas lost 2 of 3 to Alabama. Florida won 2 of 3, so Alabama, the clear 3rd team, was the tiebreaker. And Florida wins it. So what a wild, absolute baseball and softball weekend for Gator baseball and softball, respectively. We want to say hi to a couple people. David Hess checking in. Dan Bond from Texas is checking in. Evan, can we pop up that SEC standings? Let's catch people up on where everybody's at going into final 2 weekends. Here we go. So Tennessee in the East leads with a 17-7 record. Vanderbilt's game yesterday was canceled due to weather against Alabama. They're not going to make it up. Tennessee may be a real beneficiary of that. So Tennessee and Vandy, same number of losses, 7. Florida, 2 games back. Now, the West is really a 2-team race. Arkansas, 7 losses. Mississippi State, 8 losses. So that's where they stand. Now, what's interesting, at the bottom, this weekend's series, Florida will host Georgia. Vanderbilt will go to a Ole Miss team that's been ranked about 12th all year. They're pretty good. So Vanderbilt's on the road against a highly ranked team. Arkansas is at Tennessee, so the East and the West are playing each other, the leaders. Somebody's losing at least 2 games there. Mm-hmm. And then Mississippi State chasing. Missouri goes into Mississippi State. So, and then there's one more series the following weekend. So it is coming down to the nitty-gritty. Vanderbilt now at Mississippi, at Ole Miss. Tough crowd, good team. So there's a lot of baseball left. I just wanted everybody to see where the standings are at. It's going to be fun. Mm-hmm. I know I keep going back to that Florida inexplicable loss to Auburn.
Well, that's true, but you look at the Kentucky game that they won the other night. Maybe they shouldn't have won that.
Yeah, sure. It evens out, but boy, you just hate when a game they should have beaten Auburn. You're up 6-2 in a 7-inning game in the 4th inning. Thank you, Evan, for flashing that up. So that's a quick look at what's going on around SEC baseball. It is really, really, really heating up, and softball, for that matter. 110 days, Shane. 110 days. Does that feel good to you? Does that feel like it's not so far off?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be June before we know it.
Isn't that great? 110 days from today until the start of college football season. The reason I asked, Shane, are you better off? Do you feel better when I say 110 days, or would you feel better if I said today we are 3.61 months away from college kickoff? You like that better, or 110 days?
I like the months better.
Okay. Do you feel better if I said, Shane, as we sit here today, we are 15.71 weeks away?
I like the weeks, too.
Okay. Now, would you feel better if I said, Shane, as we are sitting here today, we are 2,640 hours away from college football?
I'm a weeks guy.
Okay. Now, considering we generally sleep a third of our life, right? The hours, would you feel better if I said, today we are 880 hours away, because I took a third away for sleep? Which one do you like better? 110 days, 3.61 months, 15.71 weeks, or 880 hours? Waking hours.
Oh, I'm going to go with the weeks.
Weeks. All right. Weeks. I like it. 15.71 weeks from the start of college football season. Do you know what the day is?
No.
You need to now.
Early August, right?
August 28th.
Oh, okay.
August 28th. A couple of decent games. You've got, I'm intrigued with Nebraska, Illinois. Scott Frost needs to get out and win some games. Illinois, coached
Playing
by
a Big Ten game that early?
Brett Bielema.
Right.
First game. I think Bielema can really coach. Always thought he's a good coach. And I think he should be in the Big Ten-ish, Big 12, Big 10, Big 10. So, 15.71 weeks from the start of college football season.
I like it.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Evan, can we debut here? Let me get off this here real quick. Let me hit a couple buttons here. Can we go ahead and debut our Vida de Louie commercial number 2, okay? They're real proud of this beautiful commercial. Here's what we're going to do. And follow along on Facebook. David says he's with Shane. He'll take the weeks as well. Dan says Sully is 11-10 at Kentucky all time. Second worst SEC record is against Kentucky with Sullivan. The announcer said that yesterday, that Sully and Florida haven't played great at Kentucky. Kentucky's not a great baseball program historically, but they are tough to beat up there. By the way, I got a lot of action on Facebook. That second game where the slider, it was clearly, I would have called it strike 3, game over. Kentucky would have won and won the series. Literally, I was about to turn the TV off. I said, wait a minute. I did, though, on the Facebook, I sent out, hey, Kentucky fan, before you bitch about a bad baseball call in Lexington, remember now, about, maybe a quarter mile that way in Lexington, you've gotten over the last 75 years about 1,000 of those calls in corrupt arena.
Correct.
Right? So quit whining. Evan, where was I going before I got sidetracked? Vida de Louie. There we go. That's where we're going. Okay, so we're going to play the brand new commercial, okay? By my count, Shane, and I'm using the word celebrity, I'm stretching it. I'm not a celebrity, but anyway, I'm stretching it. By my count, there are 9 to 10 celebrities in this commercial, the Bottle Pass commercial we're about to play. If you are the first person to name on the Facebook Live here, okay? If you can name 6 of the celebrities, the first person that can name 6, I'm going to send you out a huge Vida de Louie tequila prize package. How about that?
All right.
Shane, you know a couple of those bottles I gave you? Can I have one of them back?
They're gone.
Okay, they're gone, he says. They're gone. All right. Peel your eye. Here we go. Debut world premiere Vida de Louie tequila commercial number 2. Watch it close.
Vida de Louie! The good vibes! What? All the good vibes we had, we'll have again. All the good vibes we've had, we'll have again. All the good vibes we've had, we'll have again. All the good vibes we've had, we'll have again.
Taste the islands and every drop of Vida de Louie tequila. 100% blue agave from Tequila, Mexico. Good
All the
vibes.
good vibes we've had, we'll have again. All the good vibes we've had, we'll have again.
All right, there you have it now. Shane, bunch of celebrities in there. We need 6. Huh? You recognize a few, didn't you? Don't give out any names, though.
Well, the ones that I knew, everybody's going to know.
Yeah, but are there 6? Can you name 6? See, there are some reggae stars in there. So you got to know a little college football and you got to know a little reggae. Evan may have to play that again in a minute, okay? So that's why I think if you're a hardcore fan of this show and you know college sports and college football, I think you can bang out 5, but I asked for 6, right? Make it hard, right? Right? Make it difficult.
The question is, if they put their names on there, are you going to know if it's correct or not?
I got the names.
Oh, okay.
I got, from what I can gather, 1, 2, 3, there are 4. If you know reggae, you would know 4 people. I didn't know them.
I definitely don't
Okay?
know.
But if you know them, big-time performer, producer, big-time guitarist, and 2 members of what I've been told is a big-time reggae band with reggae radio hits. All right? Matter of fact, one of the producers, big-time performer, producer, has produced for, and I've heard of most of these, Jimmy Cliff, Britney Spears, Rihanna, Kanye West, Shaggy, Maxi Priest, Sean Paul. So I've heard of some of those people. Evan, you've heard of those people, right? They're pretty, obviously Britney Spears. Little sidetrack here. Britney Spears, I heard something recently. She's kind of, what?
You watching Entertainment Tonight or something?
Sidetrack here. I'm a Renaissance guy, Shane. I'm a Renaissance guy. A lot of stuff up here.
Been reading People magazine
Yeah, do they still make People? Is that still?
or the National Enquirer?
Is that still out there?
I don't know.
Haven't they been sued out of business maybe or something? I heard recently that Britney Spears, there's some kind of family battle where she doesn't even control or have any of her own control of her money. That like a sister or somebody, a father? Yeah, and I don't know what the grounds are or whatever, but
Evan knows all about it.
Evan, talk to me, brother. What's going on? So the father, and the family controls power of attorney or something?
Conservatorship over her.
What's the issue for the conservatorship?
That she's unfit to manage her own finances and all of her own.
I guess it says a judge, maybe, but.
A judge. And she's been going back for years now trying to get that taken back, but.
I don't know.
Any people pick the winner yet?
I don't see anybody. We'll have to play that again. I may have to say 5. We may have to say 5. We may not have the reggae college football overlap fan.
Probably not.
No, you don't think so? We'll play that here. All right, here's one. David says, he says, all I got was you. I guess he means me. The head ball coach, Shane Matthews. That's all he's got.
Oh, he's struggling.
That's all he's got. 3.
He must only watch College Sports Today and nothing else.
I guess, man. I guess so. Or somebody could say, the big 3 on College Sports Today way bigger than any of these other celebrities. Somebody could say that, though, right? Right? Maybe. So we'll leave it up there. We may. Dan says head ball coach Shane Matthews, Batesy, James Bates, and Terry. So that's 4. All right. First person with 5. How about that? First person with 5. You got 4. One more, and you'll win a prize pack from Vida de Louie Tequila. So there you have it. Good job, by the way, people that guessed David and Dan and some of the other people. So it's open if you want to win a prize pack. Bouncing around here, a couple things before we take a break. Shane, I'm going to, I don't know if this has ever happened in the history of my world, my life. I'm going to defend the Georgia Bulldog football fan. And I had something that came to light over the weekend. Florida, the Gators, got a verbal commitment yesterday from what sounds like a big-time wide receiver. Did you hear about this kid, Isaiah Bond?
I think I've heard about it.
Okay. So here's the story. And finally the light came on. I'm going to defend the Georgia Bulldog fan. And I think you'll jump on this as well. So yesterday, Florida gets a verbal commitment from this kid, Isaiah Bond, wide receiver out of Georgia. And the recruiting expert guys, many of them say he's probably, if not, the fastest football player in Georgia. Real speed demon, real blazer. Florida's going to bring him in as an athlete. Florida's going to bring him in as a wide receiver, looks like. So it's a pretty good coup. 3 4-star receiver out of Georgia, okay? So it makes the social yesterday. It's kind of how I saw it, popped up here and there. Didn't think too. But, Shane, it just kind of makes the news. Florida gets a commitment from a wide receiver, big-time prospect out of Georgia, and he's probably the fastest player in Georgia. No huge bells and whistles. Now, you may concur. Georgia fans seems to always get their heart broken the last 5 years. Well, they seem to every year think they've got if it happens to Georgia, it's the best. If this kid had signed with Georgia, the Georgia media, the people that cover Georgia, websites, shows like this, I've seen it now for 5 years. You would have had stories and news reports coming out of Athens and these beat writers from Georgia and these sites for Georgia, they would have been telling you this guy's going to absolutely break Jerry Rice's records. Have you ever noticed that? The Georgia media, I think, builds up the Georgia anything so high that the Georgia fan is almost blinded. The media is so one-sided. that covers Georgia. Have you ever noticed that?
I mean, it could be. I don't really follow Georgia, though, so I think they do the same thing for Florida.
I think it's times 1,000 with Georgia. More than Alabama, more than Clemson, more than Florida. I'm telling you, the last 5 years, I've watched this intently. If Georgia changes their logo, Dog Nation, this dog, this red and black, all these sites and all, buddy, it's the greatest change in the history of change. I think Georgia media is what breaks Georgia fans' heart. They built him up. I mean, this guy, if he had signed with Georgia, he would have been.
Could still do.
Yeah, sure, just commitment. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if he had committed to Georgia, he would have been the fastest football player to ever lace him up. Jerry Rice should go ahead and move his MVP trophies over, and in Canton move Jerry's bus because I feel for the Georgia fan because I think they get so blinded by their own fan media that they follow. I mean, it is amazing, amazing. David wants I got a question toward you, Shane Matthews, a little bit of quarterback question, random question. What does Trask learn from throwing with Brady? They're talking about going out and throwing Brady. I mean,
Nothing.
more talking to Brady, right? And
Yeah.
they may go over routes and stuff, but
Yeah, I mean, everybody has the same route tree. I mean, he'll just learn just being around him.
because there's talk that obviously Brady has reached out to Trask and said, "Hey, man, when you get in town, let's
Well, I
get
think
together."
they have a rookie mini camp.
And got a camp
this
coming
week,
up.
I think.
Got a camp coming up. Speaking of rookie camp, driving in, listening to some radio, Jaguars, like the rest of the NFL, I guess, has that rookie camp coming up. They've got a few days they can bring them in. I heard some stuff on local radio saying if they're going to sign Tebow to an actual contract to bring him in to work out,
He needs to go to the rookie camp.
that they may do it after the camp. They want to see what they got. They want to
You
see
mean the rookie camp or after their
after the rookie camp is when they would put a contract. They wouldn't bring him in. They want to see what they got coming in under contract already with people.
Yeah,
Does
like
that make
I said,
sense?
I'll still be surprised if they sign him.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked.
Is that right?
He's got way too much other stuff going
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah. Now, not that it matters. He is Tim Tebow. He is Urban Meyer. Has it got? If the Jaguars don't sign him, not that there's egg on Tebow's face, but that'll blow over in 6 hours, won't it?
All he's got to say is I decided to stay with SEC
Yeah.
Network or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So it would be Tebow probably doing a little smokescreen than the Jaguars.
And they may sign him. I don't know. You know, I've been in that league a long time, and
Yeah.
to go and play another position that you've never played doesn't happen very
Yeah.
often.
Yeah, it is a reach. I also heard somebody say, well, they'll bring him if he'll make the Jaguars, and they'll put him in as an offensive specialist. And I'm like, well, what's his specialty? You don't even know if
taking the snap and running like Taysom Hill off
Yeah.
the tackle. But you got to remember too. You sit in these meetings, the coaches do with the personnel people. You can only dress 45 on a Sunday?
Game day, it's 45.
Yes.
Active. 53 on your roster,
Right, but
45 are activated.
are only dressed.
Yeah.
So you have to say, okay, we got to have X amount of guys in the defense. You know, you got to have certain amount at each position group for if guys go down with cramps or injuries or whatever. You just don't say, okay, we're just going to have this guy and just, whether it's Tebow or anybody else, you just don't make a position for them
Yeah.
because every position on that roster is so important.
Yeah. That is a. I know when the Jaguars first were in existence and started playing. I obviously was living in Jacksonville like I do now, and covered the Jaguars. Was at every home game for several years, and my background was covering college. And you sit in Doak Campbell or Ben Hill or the old Orange Bowl or whatever, and you watch college game in person, and 60 players or 70 and 80. Yeah, there's players everywhere. You get in that NFL. First thing that struck me, God dang, they don't have many players to get again.
Yeah.
When you figure a lot of them are obviously just offense, just defense, you go, man, there's not a lot of depth on game day. Everybody's got to contribute.
Yep.
Everybody. 45 players is a tiny amount. Of course, in the pros, you're going to find that magic line because you don't want to pay anymore. But Shane, your point is a great one. You can't have some, well, he's going to help us sell some tickets. We're going to sit him over there and,
It doesn't work.
No. I mean, that might be your third string quarterback with the rule, but you can't just, Tim, go wave to the crowd, and that's 10. Man, 45 is a small number to run a football game. It really, really is. Let's take a break here, Evan. We'll come back. Deion Sanders, boy, I thought he made some ill-advised comments. We'll go over that. Alabama being Alabama with their roster. Some other things we'll get to here as we continue. It's a Monday edition. Shane Matthews, Terry Norvell, and you. College Sports Today.
Vida de Louie! The good vibes! What? All the good vibes we've had, we'll have again. All the good vibes we've had, we'll have again. All the good vibes we've had, we'll have again. All the good vibes we've had, we'll have again.
Taste the islands and every drop of Vida de Louie tequila. 100% blue agave from Tequila, Mexico. Good
All the
vibes.
good vibes we've had, we'll have again. All the good vibes we've had, we'll have again.
Let me take a moment to thank some of the wonderful sponsors that make College Sports Today with the head ball coach Steve Spurrier, Shane Matthews, and Terry Norvell possible. The official seafood restaurants of the show are Sliders Oyster Bar in Neptune Beach and their sister restaurants, Safe Harbor Seafood Restaurant of Mayport and the new Safe Harbor Seafood Restaurant location in Crescent Beach. The next time you crave the best seafood, the freshest seafood on the Northeast Florida coast, make sure you visit Safe Harbor Seafood Restaurant in Mayport, Sliders Oyster Bar in Neptune Beach, and Safe Harbor Seafood Restaurant in Crescent Beach, the official seafood restaurants of College Sports Today. All-American Roll-Off and Recycling, serving your construction job and demolition project needs among their many other services. All-American Roll-Off and Recycling is ready to work with you on your next project anywhere throughout the Northeast Florida and surrounding areas. Visit their website, all-americanrolloff.com, or call them at 904-503-1410. Campus USA Credit Union. Find out what over 100,000 members already know. Visit a Campus USA Credit Union today and find out how they can work for you financially. If you would like to advertise your business right here on College Sports Today with Coach Spurrier, Shane Matthews, and me, Terry Norvell, then simply drop me an email at tnsportsjacks@yahoo.com and I'll be sure to make that happen. Thanks again to our great show sponsors. Now let's get back to more College Sports Today. Okay, we've only had one person with 4 celebrities from the Vida de Louie commercial. If you can name one more sports celebrity or reggae celebrity, you'll win the prize package.
Maybe you need to give a hint.
I would, gosh darn it. Well, the guy, who was it? Was it Dan? I think Dan got 4. He said, Coach Spurrier, yes, he was in it. He said, I was in it. Shane was in it. And James Bates and his dog. Dog doesn't count. So that Dan got closest with 4. There's one football guy that hasn't been named, and he was in it. Is that a good enough clue?
Yeah.
And then if you could name, there are, as I understand it, 4 well-known reggae performers, superstars, producer types. One more. We'll leave it out there. Evan, remind me to tie it up and put a bow on it if nobody gets it. Shane Matthews, Terry Norvell, Monday edition, College Sports Today. You've seen the commercials. Thanks to all the people over our shoulder that make our show happen. Vida de Louie, Safe Harbor Seafood, 2 locations up and down the northeast coast. You know Safe Harbor Seafood in Mayport, the original Safe Harbor Seafood, Crescent Beach, up and running several months ago. Get by either one. One of my favorite hangouts down in my neck of the woods, Sliders Oyster Bar in Neptune Beach. It's an institution, been around forever. All-American Roll-Off and Recycling. Want to thank those folks for everything that they do, and also Campus USA for what they do for our show. Shane, Deion Sanders. I didn't agree at all with his premise. He came out a week or so ago and pretty much bashed the NFL draft for not drafting any players out of 259 that were selected from HBCU.
He did.
He came out and it was really disappointed. I Facebooked after I read his comment a day or two ago, 2 or 3 days ago. I thought he was way wrong about that. And I'll be a little crude here, but here's how I explain it on Facebook. And if is Deion insinuating racism there? I don't know what he's totally insinuating, but he's throwing barbs at the NFL. You've played in that league. I've been around that league a long time. The NFL owners, head coaches, and general managers that I've seen and had witnessed for 30-something years would cut their mother's eyeballs out and sell them if they could make money. They love money. I don't think the NFL in any way, shape, or form drafts or doesn't draft racially motivated or, well, you know what? We don't want to draft the next Jerry Rice from Mississippi Valley State. We're going to go to bigger schools. I thought Deion was all wet. And by the way, last year, take it for what it's worth, one player from HBCU was selected.
Yeah, not many get drafted.
I think Deion was reaching.
Yeah, it's ridiculous because regardless, putting money aside, it has nothing to do with it, in my opinion. Their jobs are to evaluate talent.
Absolutely.
And who's going to fit their program. And, I don't even know where Walter Payton was drafted, quite honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the greatest players of all time have come from
HBCU.
Walter Payton,
Yeah.
Jerry Rice, tons of them, Jackie Slater.
Yeah.
But I don't know where they were drafted. If there's good enough players in that league, they will be drafted. I can promise you that.
Yeah, Dan says NFL will draft you from Rikers if you can play Rikers to prison. Yes. But no, I thought Deion was all wet with that. And also, here's Deion all of a sudden. I think there's some individuality in his comments too. HBCU is serving Deion's purpose right now as he's trying to climb the ladder.
Well,
Deion, hey buddy, you were if that meant so much to you and carrying that mantle meant that much to you, coming out of Fort Myers, fam, you were still around. Alabama A&M was still around. If it meant that much, you didn't have to go to FSU.
Well, it probably has something to do. He wants to be able to tweet out or whatever, put in their programs or whatever their sale pitch is for Jackson State. We had X amount of players drafted or whatever. It's how they're saying how we flipped so-and-so from Florida or Georgia, because I know a couple of guys that had originally been committed to Florida and Georgia went to Jackson State.
Sure.
But it's not because Deion's their coach or because they wanted to go the HBCU route.
Yeah.
They didn't have the grades or there were other issues that nobody is going to choose those schools over a Power 5 university. Nobody.
I thought it was a big reach by Deion. Got him some more publicity, but I thought it was a real big reach. And like he said, you've played there, and I totally agree. The NFL
they don't care where you play.
All about money.
It's all about that part, yes, but it's all about from putting the product on the field. It's finding the best players.
Which
doesn't matter where you play.
Everything you do here is about the money here. It's absolutely. I mean, again, I use the example. So you're telling me, Deion, you think, well, gosh, there's a chance that guy at Alabama A&M might be the next Jerry Rice. Nah, I want to go to Purdue and draft a guy from Purdue. No. I think it's ludicrous what Deion said in that article. I got him some more publicity.
We're talking about it.
Yeah, got him some more. Sure, it did. Alabama being Alabama, you saw that we knew this was going to happen. They were going to get I think the best player in portal free agency on the defensive side is Henry Toa, the linebacker by way of Tennessee. He made it official right over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I love him. I think this kid can really play. You like him? He wore 11 at Tennessee.
Good player. We'll. I'm sure he'll do great things in Tuscaloosa.
You're sitting there on something. I can see something.
I totally forgot.
Don't like it? Like it? I mean, great. I mean,
it does surprise me.
People are bitching. I mean, Alabama, they must have given this to, until you can prove it.
Yeah.
Go fight with them. Go fight with them.
Pretty soon, everybody's going to be getting stuff.
Yeah. Yes. They just also, this is kind of quiet because the guy didn't have huge numbers. They added that Jamison Williams receiver from Ohio State, 4-star. I think he was like a 19-catch guy. I know he hauled in a 45-yard touchdown catch in the semifinal game. I mean, he's caught and played in big games. So Alabama getting the linebacker by way of Tennessee. I mean, he walks in, again, I said this 2 weeks ago or whatever. He walks in and immediately starts. I don't care any program in America. He's that good. I mean, he's big. He stays on the field. How did that pop up there?
I guess Evan can pop
Evan, you
up.
pop that up? Wow, that's incredible. Did you know that he could do that?
No.
Holy cow! I'm like, I will say this: my screen is frozen here, Evan. Is that okay? On my computer, we're still okay. Now, are you doing that and causing that? This guy can do anything. Shane, can you read that? We got a question from my buddy Shelvin. Shane, what are the Gators going to do with all those running backs? Pierce, Bowman, Lingard. You know they got a busy running back room. No way all of them will be happy and or stay. Good question, Shelvin. Get a running back room.
Yes, I mean it's probably the strength of the offense if you think about it. You know, we still haven't seen Lingard really in a Gator uniform.
5 carries, I think.
Yeah. And then Bowman, the transfer.
Haven't seen him really.
No. I love Naquan Wright. I like the way Pierce runs. So I think what I've noticed in college
and Malik Davis.
And Malik Davis, yeah. So what I've noticed in college football is coaches nowadays try to keep everybody happy. You know, the one thing that, and it's certain programs and certain coaches, Terry, that in blowout games, you never see the walk-ons play. Now, Dabo does it. Dabo does it a ton. But you always see coaches trying to cater to their recruits, getting them playing time, which I disagree with that. I think in blowouts, that's the time you play the guys that will never, ever maybe get 2 snaps in their career.
And that's how it used to be.
Oh.
Remember,
and there's
20 years ago.
There's no better feeling for guys that play a lot to see the guys that are non-scholarship players getting an opportunity to be on that field.
Yeah, and that's how it used to be, remember?
Yes, it
When
was.
you played and before.
Yes.
I can remember as a fan, you'd be watching a game and, you know, there's 2.5 minutes left and it's a 30-point game and they would say, hey, this is Pete Dawkins Pete Smith from Clewiston, Florida. You know, he's non-scholarship and he's been on the practice squad. Yeah, I told the story. I played baseball over at JU and I can remember kind of along those same lines. And you get to know everybody. People don't know maybe that haven't been on team sports. The starters aren't just friends with the starters.
No, exactly.
You know, I know when I played at JU, I was a pretty good ball player. I was a little guy, didn't get drafted. We were in the Sun Belt. I was an all-conference good baseball player. I can remember many times we were either ahead or behind, 8th inning. And buddy of mine, Gabe Hernandez, backup second baseman, just a scrapper, might have been on this much of a scholarship. I'm not even sure if he was on a scholarship. Guy from New York came down, played baseball, played in high school, but he wasn't a great player. I can remember many times just walking over to Coach Alexander. Hey, Coach, you want to maybe, to let Gabe get in the game? It's a world to him. Go out and make a play, get a hit. That'd be great.
Yeah.
It's kind of what you're talking about.
Well, some coaches think that way.
Yeah.
Coach Spurrier is one. He'd love to get the walk-ons in. I think, Dabo Swinney gets walk-ons in all the time in their blowout wins. But some schools nowadays, you never see those guys get any action. But, I don't know where I went with that tangent.
Well, all the running backs and what they're going to do. Do you like, and Shelvin was asking.
So my point is, you got all those running backs. So in a blowout game, one of those guys are going to be getting the carries that they probably shouldn't be getting the carries. It should be the walk-on running backs.
You can grab 5 carries in the last 2 minutes. Yeah. You said you like Naquan Wright. Do you like him traditional running back? Do you like him slot? And that's the question people ask about Malik Davis. Slot, traditional running back.
They're running backs.
Okay. I think Pierce is a nice player. I just think he's a guy. I think Pierce is a guy.
They all do something better than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's one. Now maybe Bowman. I don't really know. I don't think.
Or Lingard. We haven't really seen. They come in with the 5-star. Now I do recall 21 Lingard getting 4 or 5 carries. He looked quick as hell when I saw him. Now were the defenders chasing him?
They could have been walk-ons.
Terry Norvell's. Yes, I didn't know that. But I'm terribly excited to see the 5-star running backs in game action, game situation.
Did you see? I talked about on my show today. the 2022 mock draft, NFL draft, who's number 6?
Yes, I did.
First round?
Yes, I did. Yes,
Emory
I did.
Jones?
Emory Jones, and one of them, it was a Pro Football Focus.
Yeah, and those guys,
know what they're doing.
well, they do a lot of studying.
Yeah, they do. Now,
It's surprising.
The guy, I can't, Renner might have been his name, that wrote that PFF or whatever it is. He wrote the thing I read that said, "Hey, I know this might be a reach for some people, but he's projecting." I love Emory Jones, and I love the way he has been brought along, which is the old way that we won't see much anymore because of the portal and all. I love, and I think generally those understudy, get the job at 21. I think those guys always are pretty good. Knows the playbook. He's led drives at night in Baton Rouge. He's led drives at home, needing a drive against Auburn 2 years ago. He's led drives, gotten first downs, moved the ball against Georgia 2 or 3 times. He's been on the field against Alabama and Oklahoma, right? I think Emory Jones is going to. Shane, I think Florida will have as much or not, maybe more total offensive yardage this year. It's going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
It might be 2,500 yards passing, not 4,000 that Trask had, but then it may be one running back's got 650 yards, another one's got 725, a third one's got 450. Jones has got 600.
Mm-hmm.
I think Florida's offense is going to be incredible.
Could be.
Cannot wait. Cannot wait. But yeah, I did see that. And they had Brenton Cox, like the last pick of the first round. They think he's going to have a breakout. And then there was a third guy. Somebody had
It has to be Elam.
Elam, yes. It was Jones, Elam, and then Brenton Cox at the end of the first round. Now, if that all comes true, Florida just had a big year. Right?
True, but not necessarily true. I mean, you can lose a bunch of games and still have a bunch of dudes drafted.
I guess Cox. If Cox goes 32nd, if Cox goes into the first round, to me, he just got 10 sacks. Right?
Well, he may not, or he just plays really well and flashes on film.
Yeah. You know, the sack is a unique stat. The sack, from a team standpoint, is a really unique stat. You almost need, when you're talking team and giving sack numbers, you almost need to say, okay, Matthews, this is game 4. Shane Matthews, the big defensive end, has got 8 sacks this year. Everybody goes, wow, that's great. We need to know what happened in the drive. From a team standpoint, you can get a sack, but the drive could end up in a touchdown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's good, bully for you, but how good is that? You know, I've always wondered why sack stats, they don't carry it out and say, well, of Wilbur Marshall's 14 sacks, 9 of those drives ended up in a punt or an interception or, interesting. Sack is a unique stat. David Hess says, Shane, Emory Jones, more passing yards or rushing yards?
Well, it's a lot easier to
Easier.
throw for more yards, but
Yeah.
I think y'all have a ton running, though.
Dan from Texas said he just saw a baseball poll. I haven't seen it yet. The new poll came out. Florida looks like they've inched up to 9th in the nation, 2 out of 3 against Kentucky. We talked about the baseball, the way it's playing out. Vanderbilt and Tennessee tied in the loss column now. You've got Vandy at Ole Miss. Tough road series for Vandy. You've got Arkansas and Tennessee playing real tough for Tennessee and Arkansas. Florida then plays Arkansas next week on the road. So Florida's got that tough one. Arkansas is really good. I saw Mississippi State. I sat down and watched them hard about the last 5 innings yesterday. They ended up losing on a walk-off against South Carolina. Damn, State's good. Mississippi State's good. They got a lot of it. They do a lot of things well.
Yep.
Pitch the hell out of it. They hit it for power. They run.
They play with like a swagger.
They do. Well said. Well said. They've got a confident swagger.
Especially at home. They bust out the black uniforms on Sundays, I think. But it's just there's nothing like the atmosphere there.
Gotta go. I've got to get there. Shane Matthews, Terry Norvell here. A lot going on here on a Monday. Coach Spurter will be back. We think next Monday. I think he's getting settled tomorrow back in town. 110 days until college football season kicks off. Georgia. A lot of Georgia talk today. I got thinking about the Dogs this year, this academic season that's wrapping up. Georgia can't be real happy, Georgia fan.
They didn't win anything, did they?
Well, they won the Equestrian National Championship.
Oh, that's a good
Their
one.
7th. Horse jumping. They won that. But you look at the big 3 sports in college athletics: football, basketball, baseball. Georgia, they went to what? The Peach Bowl, and they beat Cincinnati. Georgia fan wasn't happy going to the Peach Bowl and beating Cincinnati. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that.
They wanted bigger and better. So they were disappointed in football. Georgia did not go to March Madness, and Georgia's got to win some baseball games or they're not going to the NCAA baseball regional. So the big 3, I mean, they're not real happy.
No, they're not.
They are not real happy. The Kentucky Derby, getting out of college sports. What's going to go on? The horse now is...
The horse failed a drug test. He's taking something. So Bob Baffert's been suspended or kicked out of Churchill Downs or whatever.
And, I immediately thought, and was that 2 weeks ago? Week ago? Couldn't they turn that around quicker? Because everybody that's got paid out, it became official. The payout's fine.
Well, yeah, but I mean, think about it. Whatever. I don't even know who came in second. I know third place was Hot Rod Charlie, which was the tremendous story.
By the way, great name, by the way.
But do you know the story?
No, tell me about it. I think you did.
It was 5 college football players from Brown University that bought the horse. Yeah, they bought it for like $1,000 or something.
Who thought of the name, though? I love that name.
But you know, after the race is over, wherever you were and you bet on it, your horses didn't win. You just threw your ticket away.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't understand the whole betting thing. But somebody on
horse racing is confusing.
Yes, on the Facebook, somebody said when this all came out yesterday that once the results are deemed official, it's done. So there's no money going back and forth, right? You got paid out even though. But the issue is, man, if I bought one damn ticket and I picked that horse that finished second to win, I didn't win, but I did win.
Yeah.
And then, Shane, you know this maybe more than I do. I don't understand. They do, you got to pick who's going to win, but you can go win, place show.
Yeah, I don't understand how that
But
works.
I mean, that gets all monkeyed up too if this horse officially gets kicked out. Yeah, so I'm thinking class action lawsuits against somebody.
Yeah, but I don't know how you prove that what you bet.
I tell you one thing. People were crawling on their hands and knees yesterday at Churchill Downs at the ticket office, right? Looking for.
You don't think they've cleaned that place up?
I'm in that garbage can. Man, I don't think anything can happen, but man, you gotta test that thing earlier, or something.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't just go test them right after the race.
Yeah.
Poor horse.
David,
it's not the horse's fault.
I don't know. Who knows?
The horse didn't do it on me. What do you go down to GNC?
That horse doesn't night 2, 3 in the morning. Do you know what they're doing in that room? I know those jockeys are known for all kind of stuff, right? You ever seen like Seabiscuit the movie? Those jockeys, they get it all, man. They party. Shane got a golf question here. David says, "Tell Shane I shot 96 at Blue." I said 96. Shane said, "Ooh."
He shot 400. 400 a century mark.
He said, "Tell Shane I shot 96 at Blue Sky if he wants so much play."
Where's Blue Sky?
That was, I think that's that course down from JU in Arlington. Is that right, David?
I've never even
No, that might be. Or is that the old Mill Cove at the airport?
I've heard of Mill Cove.
That's at the Craig Airfield.
They changed the name of it?
I think so. David, let me know which one that is. But
I'll let you play with Terry.
He threw a smooth 96 up there.
Hey, at least he counts them all. I respect that.
Or he might have shot 117.
That's true. That is true. He may
Shane,
not have counted them
at
all.
your level now, I think I know the answer. But you don't. Do you have a guy or two that you play golf with that monkeys around with the number or the foot wedge?
No.
The foot wedge?
No, because they won't play with us.
Yeah.
We don't go for that.
Shane, he says it's the old Mill Cove. That is the one that was on the Craig Airport.
I was going to ask you, since we're off just talking about golf courses in Jacksonville, what is the new course they call the Yards?
I do know it used to be Oak Bridge for years out in the Ponte Vedra area out there.
Right, I've never played it.
It's changed the name, new ownership.
Is it an 18-hole course? But they said it was like...
And they say Yards, don't they? Or does it have an S on it? Like it's more than one course?
I think so. But
Oak Bridge is what
But
it's
also got like, I don't know if it's some par 3 holes or whatever. I just heard that you can play like either 3 holes, like 6 holes, 9 holes. I don't know. Look into that.
I don't like that. What do you mean 6,
I don't like it either. I don't know. I've heard about it. And somebody
Well,
told me you
all I
don't play
know
all
is
18.
the little courses like that, like UNS got a little course that you can play a few holes, because they have space constraints.
Mm-hmm.
I know that the yards is supposed to be the old Oak Bridge, and that was a full golf course.
Okay. Maybe somebody.
Have you played just about all the courses that you want in the state of Florida? Have you gone around and played a lot of the courses that you've always wanted to play?
I mean, I'm never one of these guys that wants to I got to play that course.
Yeah.
If I get an opportunity, great.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably some that I can't think of right off the top of my head.
You
that
played
I play.
the Players a bunch?
Yeah, I played it a ton.
You like that course?
I do. It's fun.
I played 3 or 4 times.
It's fun.
David says it's the old Oak Bridge, only 12 holes. I'm done. I don't want that. I want real golf.
Yeah, why is it only 12?
I don't know.
I'm just
And it used to be a real course.
Hmm.
I need to get playing. I will tell you this. I've got some clubs. I've got everything. I guess it was last.
Your clubs are probably as old as mine.
Well, mine are nice. They're different, I noticed. I've been
Mine
looking
are
at everybody.
old.
And
Mine
let me
are
tell you
old.
about mine. Mine are nice. I've been looking at other people's golf clubs. Mine are unique. They got like a hickory shaft.
Oh.
No, I'm just
There you go.
kidding.
I
was going.
noticed
Let me tell you, this was 7 or 8 months ago, and I stopped. But I had went out to the range. I haven't hit a golf ball on a golf course in between 15 and 20 years.
Damn.
I hadn't it just got away from the game. But I went to the range 7 or 8 times, 7 or 8 months ago. I was going a little bit and then got away from it. But I know you would hate to play with a new guy, but we need to play one time. Do you have a nice, easy course over here? Other than putt-putt?
We can always make courses easy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really no hard courses here.
Yeah. But I should play. I should play with David if he's throwing up a 96, for God's
Y'all got a
sakes.
big match out there.
Crazy golf, or maybe not crazy, you may have heard this. Baseball. Left-handed hitter. I'm left-handed.
You play golf right-handed?
I play golf right-handed.
Yeah.
I could not
I know,
even.
I know a couple of kids
Do you?
that do it that way. They're baseball players, but they play the other way.
Most natural thing in the world, left-handed swing. And I was a great hitter, hand-eye coordination. Shane, if you did that, I don't think I could hit the golf ball.
That's interesting.
I couldn't. This side, I crush it.
Interesting.
Guys like that, I do.
Yeah.
By the way, the only thing I do is left-handed is hit a baseball. It's the most natural thing in the world.
I do everything right-handed.
But down here, I don't think I could make
I
contact.
play pool left-handed for some reason.
Is that right? Quick story. We got time for a quick golf story.
Sure.
And the players, it just jogged my memory. I've played. This was years ago in the '90s. We used to get to play the stadium, the nice big stadium course. Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the big one. We used to get to play that in the media like twice because you would play. They would have a media day like 6 weeks before the tournament because they'd let everybody, radio, TV, anybody in the media could come out and play because they knew what we were going to do the next 2 or 3 days. Talk about it. You're helping promote it. So media day. So we go out and play. And then it seems like I would play always the Monday
after.
benefactor day.
Monday after.
Monday after. It was like the benefactor day.
That's more fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun because we played. So the Monday after, Norman smoked it. Remember he did 24 unders and they changed the course. We can't have this happening. Man, so I played that. I think it's benefactor day, right? The workers and volunteers.
I don't know. I just know it's the
Yeah.
best day to play because
Yeah.
you're playing it in top condition.
That was the first time I'd ever played it. Whatever that year was, 96, 94, 95. And it was the day after. So obviously really tough course, and particularly a guy like me. I was a 90s golfer. So get around and what does everybody want to play? Can't wait to get to 17. And literally the day before, hours ago, it was the tournament. They're taking the tents down and all. But the pin is
Back right. It's got to be back right.
Back right, because there's a bunker here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back right. So I tee up and I'm hitting what I've hit like an 8 or 9. It's a little short hole, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, real short. I'm hitting 8 or 9. Shane, everybody's watching. I'm nervous as hell. That's not my first hole. We've already played. Man, I couldn't have hit it any better. Couldn't have hit it any better. And they said, not that I could hit it the front, it'll run back. Right? I'm hitting it. Shane, I'm watching this thing. It was a nice click. And it hit the wood and went into the water. Went up and went in the water. First time I ever got there. So, water ball. This much further, it's on the green, and I'm happy as a clam. So that stunk. Here's the story. Here's the story. Tee up. I just asked my buddy to throw me a ball. Don't even move. We don't go to that little area. You're supposed to go. I said, hell with that. I'm playing the. So tee up right there, same club. Don't change anything. Tee it up. God, I mean that far it would have been hit the exact same shot. Shane, the damn thing lands, and it rolls to 2 inches from the hole.
Ooh.
But I was excited because I tapped in for bogey. Mm-hmm. You know how pissed off I'd have been if it went in?
Oh, yeah.
That would have been for 3, not 1.
Yep.
Shane, damn thing stopped right next to the cup.
That's funny.
I'd have been. Have you had a hole in one?
I've had 2.
Where at? You know them.
I've had one in college at West End, and then I had one at Chris DeMarco's charity golf tournament with the hole he hits, all the shots with all the spectators or the participants.
You one-upped him there on that?
I did one of them.
Damn.
Yeah.
So that's verified. How about the other one? Anybody to verify that?
That was verified.
Buy?
Several of my group, I got paid for it.
I thought you were supposed to buy.
We don't do that. We have $100. Everybody in your group has to pay you $100 if you make all of them. That's the dumbest rule I've ever heard.
The buying drinks?
Yes, it's the
yeah, I
dumbest thing I've ever
totally
heard.
agree. Hey, I did something great.
I don't participate in that ever.
I did something great.
I have no problem though if somebody makes a hole in one in my group, giving them 100 because that makes sense.
I agree. Hey, let me remind people, we have our YouTube channel up and running. We could really use your help. It'll really help our show. All you have to do is go to our YouTube channel, College Sports Today on YouTube. Subscribe, help us. That will greatly help us with our show. So help us really expand our YouTube channel by subscribing. It's that easy. It doesn't cost you a dime, and it really helps our show. I'm out. You want any more golf stories?
No, we're good.
So do I have to turn in like 15 rounds before you'll play golf with me, or
Nah.
Are you a long hitter?
I'm pretty long.
And are you pulling the driver every chance because you love, or are you smart?
No,
You're
no.
smart off the tee.
I try to play smart.
Smart
I hit
off
my
the tee.
3-wood pretty far too. So.
Alrighty, so there we go. That's how I started playing. Was right-handed, and I'm left-handed. Just started playing left-handed a year ago, David. Yeah, by 96, I can tell you still haven't figured out are you right or Shane. I don't think he knows if he's right or
He's
left.
got 2 sets on the back of his cart. I'll try right-handed this hole.
All right, let's get out of here. Hope you enjoyed it. I know we did. I want to thank Evan Miller, our producer, who makes this thing, makes something out of this, something that we do on Mondays and Fridays. That's our day, College Sports Day, 11 a.m. Mondays, and we'll be back on Friday, 11 a.m. We hope you join us. Thanks to all of our sponsors and to Evan Miller. I'm Terry Norvell for Shane Matthews. See you Friday.